I don't know how much longer I can handle dating men in LA because I'm getting closer and closer to just completely just never dating again. I feel every time I give a man a benefit of the doubt, every time I try not to let my previous dating experiences into the new one, it ends up biting me in the ass and I get screwed over. And I just don't understand why men like to take advantage of nice, honest women and manipulate them and lie to them. Like, how is that fun for you? I just don't get it. Like, just leave the nice girls alone. And I feel like now I'm slowly transitioning into just a not so nice girl, and I don't like that. I don't want to become that person, and I'm...
Translation, I'm ignoring all the guys in my friend zone. I'm ruling out anyone who is under 6 feet, who doesn't have, 6 figures and above. Like, the list goes on and on. And to say that you're having a crash out or a dating crisis in LA when it's such a large city in the United States clearly shows that your standards are way too high and you're only focusing on Chad. So, welcome back to Into the Gray, where not everything is black and white. I think we have a banger of an episode of women crashing out. So let's get it.
Is anyone else grossed out by the fact that there are men out there just out having fun and they're like not even...
I accidentally slipped up today and said I had a boyfriend, and that was like so embarrassing. It's something about admitting that I'm allowing a man to be in my presence just disgusts me. It's not that like I don't love him or anything. Like, he's okay, he's decent, but I just, please don't look at me different, you guys.
Imagine if a man came on here and had the audacity to say that. Like, it's so embarrassing to have a girlfriend. His account would be canceled. He would be doxxed. Like, it goes on and on. But it's so funny that we have such brainwashed modern women fall into the propaganda saying something stupid as it is embarrassing to have a boyfriend and you lose. You can't even spell lose. We have loose. So it's actually embarrassing to have you as a girlfriend. You can't even tell the difference between lose and loose. But you lose all your aura. Young King, if whoever boyfriend you are to this young woman, please leave her expeditiously.
I am disgusted by my boyfriend's physical appearance. My boyfriend used to be the most gorgeous, attractive, magnetic person I've ever met, but things have changed slowly, and 7 years after, it just feels like he's an entirely different person. And I know saying this, I might get torn apart for being shallow, but I genuinely wish I didn't feel this way. I still feel love for him, but my body starts feeling repulsion every time he touches me now.
Another example, just imagine if a guy came on the internet saying this nonsense about their girlfriend and wife. And if you really feel this way, say he's out of shape or whatever the situation is with this young man, why is our first instinct to blast and embarrass him on the internet? Like, man, it is so disgusting how comfortable a lot of these, modern women come on as if it's their therapy session to have everyone partake in the humiliation ritual, just bashing the men. But if, again, say, a guy comes on here, yeah, I used to be attracted to my wife, but after she had kids, please, I no longer can look at her the same. Her body's changed, blah, blah, blah. But it's, I'm sure in the comment section, praise, oh, wow, you know your worth, queen.
I know it sounds really bad, but I'm embarrassed that my friends see him and that my family sees him. And I also never want to be in photos with him. I wish I didn't care, but I can't change how I feel. He has a beautiful face. I mean, he'll always be beautiful to me, but the thing is, he doesn't take care of himself. He has a very skinny build, but his beer belly is the biggest I've ever seen in my life. I'm not even kidding. It's genuinely comparable to a 9-month pregnant belly. When we go to festivals together, he always takes his shirt off, and I feel so embarrassed. Like, I'm telling you, people stare. He's also been losing his hair, and this is one thing that I know he has no control over. I mean, the beer belly, I'm kind of pissed at that because he could change that, but his hair, I try to be gentle and supporting because I know, it's not in his control. The issue is that he makes it worse. Like, he lets it grow, accentuating the parts where it doesn't grow at all, like accentuating his baldness. I feel really awful and I can't really believe how fast things have changed. Like, we're still in our 20s. He used to give me butterflies. Now I kind of feel sick every time I look at him. This is actually making me really sad because I love my boyfriend and I don't want to feel this way. So I'm coming on here because I just want advice on how I can save my relationship.
She doesn't want advice. She already probably has her mind made up on Chad, who she's going to leave. And so this is just like foreshadowing that, hey, I tried to make it work. She wants this video as evidence, weeks or months later when we find out she's single because she was talking to someone all along or has her eyes at least on someone just to, make herself feel better. But young man, whoever you are, if you aren't in shape, I advise you to, always take care of your best. Always take care of your health, men and women. But if you are the boyfriend to this young woman, please leave her and never look back.
So my boyfriend got me flowers just for no reason, other than just because. But tell me why, I'm walking home with them, and it's kind of embarrassing. Yeah, I have a lover boy, and what about it?
Well, another young king, leave this one and find you a real woman out there who will actually appreciate your flowers and the little gestures. There are some amazing women, as I always say in my shows. This isn't an attack on all, but this is just to spotlight the toxicity, how far feminism has gone and polluted and poisoned these young women's brains. I mean, it doesn't have to be young, older women's. She doesn't appreciate your flowers, somebody else will. Moving on.
I have something I want to discuss, and this is something that I feel like a lot of people discuss, but I want to talk about it. And it's being so fucking single at my age. I'm 28, turning 29, but I'm doing nothing about it. The thought, I just want to wake up in a fucking 1 year long relationship, pregnant with a baby in a house.
So many modern women are just lazy daters. They just want to exist. And, as she said, wake up and I already have, either I'm engaged for a year, I'm married for a year, I have kids, the picket fence and the big house. It's just crazy how we'll spend so much time, studying to get whatever degrees that they're searching for and, being these boss babes and getting these careers. But then when it comes to dating and men, it's just I'm not doing anything. He just has to pursue me. Take me as I am. No improvement needed on my end. She talking about the life of a single girl in her late 20s isn't for the faint-hearted. I mean, it only gets harder from here. You're still, somewhat out of your prime dating years, but you're still, have youth to you. So if you think it's getting any easier, then I got bad news for you. But let's let her finish.
I mean, I don't want to do this fucking dating thing. Oh! But I'm not getting any younger. Not getting any younger, and the prospects are not there. I'm really I'm actually so fucking normal as well. I actually think I'm having a mental breakdown about this because it's just, I don't know whether to laugh or cry.
This is why you prioritize locking in a good man in your prime dating years instead of talking to Chad and Tyrone, bouncing, from one dude to the next. And like I said, she's not old or, super out of her prime. But if you don't get realistic with your expectations and standards, like I said, it's only going to get worse from here.
Please don't make me think of it. We can't think of it.
Yes, because suddenly, whenever they are no longer with said man in the relationship, they always turn out to be narcissists. And what's funny is they always talk about red flag this, red flag that. That's what all you're attracted to. Whenever you talk about green flags, like nice guys, pretty much stable, consistent, on his grind, that's boring. But whenever they talk about red flags, I mean, that's all your dating history is. So I'm not really sure what the cognitive dissonance or why we're complaining is about, but hey, go off, queen.
Oh me, oh my, oh me, oh my, oh yeah, I want.
But a normal girl. Oh, I wish I was a normal girl.
Time to love, hey, let's get it now.
I want the time.
Gonna win his second Monster Energy Network
actually will argue that if you cannot get over your ex, you should text them all the things that you have been thinking in your head that might come off as a little bit crazy. Obviously, I'm not encouraging you to text a million times and to ruin his life with the things that you have to say, but I just think getting things off your chest, it helped. I've done it twice now. I said the things that I wanted to say. I embarrassed the living crap out of myself. And it definitely hurt worse that day and the next day as well. And here we are. Now I'm fine. I think probably maybe a week later. Totally fine. I think that you should do it. And if it goes poorly, don't yell at me.
Sometimes it's hard to face reality. Even though you might get.
Sounds like she learned the hard way that, looks aren't everything. And a lot of men know that as we age, men and women, but women in particular, beauty fades. So if that's all you have, clearly your looks wasn't enough to keep the man. And that's not something she's used to. So, she's trying to cope with social media, but best of luck, queen.
It's my paradise.
No, please, God, no.
This can't be happening.
What was the point of coming on to TikTok to post that? She looks well in her 40s, acting like she's 4. Like, what are we doing? Like, you got the cooties or something. Clearly, she's in her older years. I mean, not 50 or 60, but not getting as much attention as when she was in her 20s. So now she doesn't know how to act. And the only thing she can think of is pull her phone out in her car, per usual, and record a video of herself acting like a 5-year-old, all giddy. Knowing that she wants a man, but she's trying to act like she's, one of the girlies where knowing that she wants a man, but trying to pretend she doesn't, so she doesn't feel like she's betraying the girl code or whatever. What are we even doing here?
You know what it never was? That serious. It was never that serious.
It is so annoying how the guys that I like don't like me, but the guys that I don't fucking give a flying rat's bumhole in is all of a sudden like, so when are we gonna see each other? Here's some flowers. I love you so much. Love me. And I'm just like, why? Literally, no. I want the one that doesn't want me. Can't I just like the one that likes me?
Another one where, 10, 20 years from now, they'll still be saying all men. 10 or 20 years from now, they'll be having a bunch of regrets. Another one who's passing up all the nice guys and the good potential husbands in the friend zone or don't make X amount of money, height requirement. It's the same old, same old. 10 or 20 years from now, they'll look back and either start hating all men or, just having regrets because the men that they can attract, in their early mid 20s definitely won't be able to do that in their later years. So if you don't lower your standards, it's only going to get worse from here, darling. Ironically, we have another clip by this young woman. Let's check it out. Instead of prioritizing locking down Chad, we should prioritize, locking down a great potential. We should lock down a good man that we can build with. But a lot of women, unfortunately, today want to meet you at the finish line instead of building up with you. I know this is a skit, but if a lot of more women acted like this, then a lot of relationships would be saved. We need this kind of accountability. I know this is a skit, but a lot of relationships would be saved if we could take accountability like this in 2026.
This is going to be a hard pill for many men to swallow. But the fact of the matter is that everything that you've ever done for a woman is irrelevant. It does not matter. If it's in the past, it's gone. And this can be very frustrating because some guys have done a lot for their women. They've taken them to Fiji and they've bought them a car and they've given them a ring and the house and the kids on their timeline. They have done a lot for their women. And these men often believe that what they have done somehow entitles them to some measure of consideration, love, sex, respect, or commitment now in the present moment. And unfortunately, that's not true. I'm sorry. On some level, I think this is a failure of intersex understanding. The conception of reasonable entitlement is how men think. It's not necessarily how women think. If the two of us were at a bar and you bought me around, the next time you needed a drink, I would buy you around. Why? Because I would feel in some small way as if I were in your debt. And I would feel compelled to discharge that debt through equivalent action. And this is likely because, among other things, if I didn't do that, you would eventually stop buying me drinks. And I might also earn a reputation as a sponger, and this could detrimentally affect my status in our shared community, which has very negative consequences for men. Now, women have their own intersex status games, but they're not quite the same as men's, and both games change in intersexual relationships. So inspecting that incurred debt reasonably entitles you to some equivalent action from a woman is probably not warranted. That's just not how it works with them. Women are like your stomach. Reminding your stomach that you had dinner last week isn't going to help if you're hungry today.
Facts. I mean, a lot of you men out there who've been in relationships have already realized this and experienced it yourself. But this doctor does a great job breaking down understanding of, how men and women's brains work. And so no matter what you do, obviously not every single woman, there's some that will remember the being there for them and looking out for them. But the vast majority, it's always like, okay, what can you do for me now? Like they say in sports, you're only remembered by your last game. So you can have, 50-point game. Um, you could be, you could have a 50-point basketball game, last Friday, but your next game, you have 4 air balls. You shoot 22% from the field. You could have a 50-point game in basketball, say a week ago, and then your next game, you're shooting air balls, having 11% from the field, missing basically all your free throws. You're going to get talked about left and right, and they'll say your last game was a fluke. So, similar to this analogy, what he was given, it's pretty much like, okay, well, what can you do for me now? All that's cooler now, but I'm only future minded and not really appreciating, what you've done. Again, not everyone, but Excellent point there. Please let me know in the comment section if you agree, disagree with anything, and what your thoughts are. I appreciate everyone tuning in Into the Gray, where not everything is black and white, where we try to point out the double standards and restore balance. I will catch you guys next time. Take care.